I'm not going back and forth with a man who thinks that they should be in my position. If you want to be in my position, get in my position.
Do you believe that?
Bluff City Media presents The Anthony Sain Show on YouTube at Bluff City Media. Stepping up to the microphone is your host, Anthony Sain.
Acknowledge me.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome to The Anthony Sain Show. It's your boy, Anthony Sain, here live in the Bluff City Media studio. Kenny Stubblefield is out today. My man, Paris Sharkey in the building behind the glass. What's going on, my boy?
Yep. What it do? Back in this thing.
Man, good to see you, man. Just saw you the other day. You back in this joint again, man. Good to see you. No church tonight.
No, sir.
My boy
got counsel tonight. Got counsel. Pastor out on the wedding. And
That's what I'm talking about, man. That's what I'm talking about, man. When the pastor's away, my boy Paris will play with me here at the Bluff City Media Studios for sure. I will listen to the intro to the show, man. You know, Kenny put that sound bite of Coach Prime, who's my guy, and then man.
Man.
Shout out to the epic Coach Prime versus
Doc Holliday
wars going on Twitter, man. Doc is my man, bro. Doc, my man, going at Coach Prime. I still haven't watched Doc's original video, though. I've been so busy at work that I haven't watched Doc's original video. When I think about it, I don't know, man. I ain't watched it, but I'll check it out. But I've seen the gist of it. I get what Doc is saying that Coach Prime doesn't have the same energy about getting their stuff stolen at the UCLA game as he did when his stuff allegedly got stolen at the JSU game, but it wasn't stolen.
Right.
I don't know. I don't even remember. I remember it, but I don't really remember what went down. I don't remember how he responded to it.
I remember, and I understand where Doc is coming from. I just feel like Deion could have responded instead of just kind of. He could have actually responded and gave him an answer instead of the response he gave, then blocking him. It's like, okay.
Yeah. I'm tripping off of it. And Doc is saying, like, man, I still support Coach Prime. Like, I just don't understand why you ain't got the same energy. I got to watch Doc's video. I keep playing. And I watched. And it's crazy because I did watch the video. What am I talking about? I did watch the video.
I would say because it wasn't even as bad.
Yeah, I saw
him really come at some people. He was fine in it.
I saw it last night. Now that I think about it, because I saw his response videos too.
Yeah,
but
when folks talking about you stayed in the trap house and
people are crazy, man. Twitter is crazy. Shout out to Doc. Like I said, Doc still supports Coach Prime. I of course support him. But yeah, man, it's wild stuff to see those two go at it, and then But Doc's my guy. I think I'm doing stuff wrong, man, because I talk a lot of shit on Twitter, but I ain't never got invited on nobody's show because of that shit. Man, Doc be on like ESPN shows and featured on shit. I'm
shout out to Jay Williams.
I'm like, damn, bro. Like, what am I doing? Like, do I need to do the like? No, bro. I don't. I think I look too much of a goofball. I can't. Doc's a pretty handsome dude, man. Like, I don't think I can pull off the shit that Doc be pulling off.
Last year, him and Kendrick Perkins eating a piece of chicken.
Yeah, I'm like, damn. Like, Doc is really parlaying shit talking into like real shit. Like, not just arguing with people on Twitter for sure. But yeah, it was good conversation. Good stuff for sure. Bad conversation though, Paris Sharkey, is the Grizzlies are 0-5. I'll give my quick summation of what I see going on, man. This roster is hemorrhaging. We're looking at a roster in crisis. I think the biggest problem with this team is that Jaren Jackson Jr. and Xavier Tillman, they're just getting overused. Like, we need bigs badly, man. Yeah. We're getting Bismack Biyombo officially signed. He's coming on soon. I hope you'll get Santi Aldama sometime this week. And if you got those four actual bigs on your roster and you're not playing Jake LaRavia at the 4, David Roddy at the 4, I think that you can look more like an actual settled roster.
Yeah.
The shooting has been terrible.
Yeah.
The Patrick St. Andrew offense, I'm not feeling it at all.
It's fine if you have shooters.
It's fine if you got shooters, but if it's getting David Roddy and Xavier Tillman open, I think we might go in another direction. And I'll say this too. Just kind of speaking to a lot of the criticisms, a lot of things people are saying. A lot of people are pointing fingers at the 2022 draft, which is the one that got where you drafted Jake LaRavia, you drafted David Roddy, you acquired Vince Williams. They didn't draft Vince, right?
Yeah, they drafted him
second round pick. Okay, you acquired. You drafted what's the name? You drafted Kenny Chandler.
Yeah,
and you acquired Kenny Lofton Jr.
Undrafted. Yep.
Undrafted Kenny Lofton Jr. I'll say this. The Grizzlies at that time had Steven Adams, Brandon Clark, Jaren Jackson Jr., Xavier Tillman, and Santi Aldama, right?
Jaren Jackson Jr. Yes.
Did I say somebody twice?
Brandon Clark, Jaren Jackson Jr., Santi
Yeah,
Aldama.
you had 5 bigs on the team at that time.
Yeah, and Xavier Tillman and Stevie Adams.
And Santi Aldama was a guy who they had faith in, even though it wasn't really based on nothing, but they had faith in Santi Aldama.
Yep.
They didn't. I get the Walker Kessler stuff, especially in hindsight. I definitely get it.
Hindsight is always 20/20.
It's always, but they didn't get Kessler. They wanted to go in another direction.
Yeah, because they were replacing slow-mo.
They knew that they weren't going to bring back Kyle Anderson. Knew they weren't going to bring back D'Anthony Melton.
Right.
Why? Because if you'd have brought those guys back, you'd have to pay those guys.
Exactly.
And you know you got to pay John Bain. You knew you were going to do that. So I get moving off of those guys. Plus, I've heard other reasons why they let go of those guys as well. But with that being said, they would look for versatile guys that could dribble, pass, shoot, defend, these type of things. I think that decision was sound.
Mm-hmm.
The follow through wasn't really it though.
Yeah, especially with Jake LaRavia.
Yeah, Jake LaRavia is terrible. David Roddy, if you're comparing them to the league, he's terrible. Right. If you're just comparing them to can he do stuff for us, cool.
I think he's fine when everybody's back and he's like 10th, 11th.
Yeah.
Man. Yeah, he's fine.
Yeah.
But as he's number 6 or 5. I mean 6 or 7 right now. Yeah.
But it's like those guys aren't really showing many signs of what they'll be a couple of years from now. I don't think David Roddy will ever be too much better than what he is now.
Yeah, I always thought him when they drafted him, I thought he would just be a solid back end rotation player, which your roster was deep enough at that time that that's what he can be.
Yeah.
But when folks get hurt, like you missing 5 4 your top 8 players, he's not a high end rotation player.
Kennedy Chandler, waste of a pick. He's gone. Yeah. You kind of know a guy's a waste of a pick when you cut him and nobody else want him.
Right, bingo.
Like when you let a guy go and nobody else grab him, because it's like, all right, maybe we should have never grabbed him either.
Yeah.
Kenny Lofton, we pretty much see how this is about to play out. Bismack Biyombo is going to come here. John's going to be back at 25 games. They're going to keep Bismack. They're probably going to let Kenny Lofton go. Like he probably knows he's on borrowed time.
I agree.
Vince Williams, I'm high on Vince Williams. Haven't seen much from him. He doesn't get a lot of playing time. He never gets like real rotation time. Nope. He's always like garbage time, so you don't really know what you're looking at. Jake LaRavia looks good in those type of moments sometimes. So
barely. Yeah.
So that whole thing, I get the thought of it, but it just lacks the follow through. In a perfect world, this is what I would like to see from the Grizzlies. I would like to see Bismack Biyombo be good enough where you can address other needs at the deadline. I do not want to see the Grizzlies invest money in another big man. I'm hoping Bismack can hold it down for us the rest of the year. I think he's able to, man. You're talking about a guy who can regard. Then people are like, man, we need somebody taller. I'm like, man, he's a great rebounder and shot blocker. Like, why he got to be taller? Like if he's doing it, he's doing it.
He got a long wingspan.
He's got extremely long arms. Right. Like if he's getting rebounds, he's blocking shots, and he's setting screens. I don't care that he's not 2 inches taller. Like I don't care. Like why does that matter? Like anyway. But if I'm hoping he's a serviceable enough big where we're a good enough team where you can address other needs, because this team has other needs other than rebounding. This team needs somebody off that bench that can score. Because when you go back full blown, when you're John Morant, Marcus Smart, Desmond Bain, Jaren Jackson Jr., Xavier Tillman, you're pushing Santi to the bench, you're pushing Zaire to the bench, and you're pushing Luke Kennard, who looks like nothing like Luke Kennard is supposed to look right now. Who's going to score points? Who's the guy you can give the ball to and say, go score points? And I know you can stagger things where you got Bain playing with the bench unit or whatever you're doing, but it seems like this team, even full strength, even if you have Steven Adams, it feels like this team needs one more guy. Has always felt like they needed one more guy.
Just score, a wing
that could just be a wing scorer in that 6'5", 6'6", 6'7" ish mold.
See, that's why I'm jealous of a team like the Clippers.
That's why I'm jealous of a team like Dallas, because Tim Hardaway Jr. come out there looking like Tim Hardaway Sr.
Right.
The other day.
The Clippers got Norman Powell.
Those type of guys. Yeah.
Bench, man.
My boy in Utah, who's I know all the Facebook. Him and the other dude. Other weird ass
Jordan
dude.
Clarkson.
Jordan Clarkson.
He actually starts now.
No, I'm just saying.
Well, yeah.
Those type of guys.
That's a bucket getter.
We need somebody in that. Even if you're talking about like Alec Burks type dude. Somebody that can, come in, play make a little bit, knock down, shot, score. We need some guys. We need more dudes like that. And I think that And I hate to see Derrick Rose showing injury stuff down so soon because he could be that type of guy who could he's too short. He's a point guard, combo guard. But we need somebody off the bench that could just create buckets. Yep. And I'm hoping that this Bismack Biyombo thing works. Hoping that once the hemorrhaging, once the crisis in our front court is rectified a little bit, I'm hoping that can kind of regulate things and we can use our assets. Because I don't want to trade Luke Kennard or Zaire Williams in draft picks to go get Robert Williams. Like I don't. Nah. Not when you're going to have Steven Adams back next year, too, and Robert Williams. They're going to say, what do you do?
I'm looking at somebody like a Jeremy Grant.
Yeah, like, I'd rather look at somebody who can
DeMar DeRozan
do more shit, man. Like, for real. Like, I don't know who that guy could be for us, but I just think if we could get just a low-cost, like, scoring wing, I think that's what we need, man. This team is going to have more guys that come in to score. John Conchar, God bless his heart, but he's out there just doing nothing. Like, he ain't scoring. Yep. So...
And
but man.
What to do about this system with the defensive system?
We gotta get it out of here.
Allowing threes, man.
Gotta get both of them out of here. And it's like an annual tradition that like our 3-point defense is just ass to start the season. Yep. I don't understand why. And then Dylan Brooks out here just looking like a damn Boy Scout. Like just doing right, man. Just doing right by everybody.
Right.
I think the clock's gonna strike midnight on him with that. I hate to be a hater. I am hating on Dylan Brooks because he has looked great. I hate to be a hater, but I do expect that to stop.
It's the beginning of November.
Yeah,
he's had great stretches with the Grizzlies.
With the Grizzlies
that's
too.
That's how he got their first extension.
I hate to be a hater, man, but hey, this dude look good, but I'm hating on him. But yeah, man, we're about to take a break. When we come back, my man Daniel Greer from Grizz 901, as well as the Grizzlies official Bluff City Media Grizzlies post-game show is going to be on with us for the sit down with Sain. It's going to be good stuff, I'm sure. Come back and check it out here on the Anthony Sain Show. See you guys in a minute.
Bluff City Media and Bluff City NIL are proud partners of Coaching for Literacy, a Memphis nonprofit using the power of sports to impact childhood literacy. When you donate to Bluff City NIL through Coaching for Literacy, your gift is 100% tax deductible. This partnership is a win-win-win. Tiger student athletes win in the NIL landscape, Coaching for Literacy wins by engaging Tiger student athletes in this monumental cause, and most importantly, elementary students in Memphis receive support to become strong readers. To donate today, visit coachingforliteracy.org/bluff-city.
The national media hasn't really come around on this team, but I think they have more than enough to be, truthfully, the best team in conference. I mean, you're going to have a really good player coming off of the bench for the Tigers. A double-digit scorer.
Really good players.
But I'm saying like a Jaquan Walton or a David Jones, one of those, like somebody's going to come off the bench for this team.
Yeah.
That's how much talent they have top to bottom. Javon Quinterly and Jordan Brown were 5-star recruits out of high school, and they've been in college for 4 years.
Right.
And they've done well in
been
college.
Productive, yeah.
They have more than enough talent, top to bottom. Javon Quinterly, Caleb Mills, David Jones, or Jaquan Walton, whatever you want it to be, Nick Jourdain, freaking Jordan. Like, they're 8 guys deep of productive starters at this level, proven productive starters at this level.
Yeah.
I don't get it. I just don't get it.
Tune in to On the Bluff with Christian Fowler and Gabe Kuhn every Tuesday at 12 p.m. on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
If I hear one more time post-game from anybody, staff, player, fan, they ran something defensively we hadn't seen on film, I'm going to lose my mind.
If you and I were head coaches for 2 different teams, do you think you would change up just a little bit what you do?
Oh, yeah.
Every game?
Yeah.
Yeah. I really hope our defense is doing that. I hope our offense is doing that. I legitimately, when I heard that, I was like, I misunderstood the statement. Or he misunderstood the question. Because there's no way in hell you want me to believe that you were like, they just didn't run the same thing that we've seen on film the past 6 weeks.
Yeah,
there's no way.
It's like taking a test and expecting all the answers to be given to you beforehand.
Look,
the questions were different than the practice test.
Tune in to Tigers Untapped with TJ Willis and Trey Lasley every Wednesday at 3 p.m. on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
All right, y'all, welcome back to the Anthony Sain Show. It's time for the Sit Down with Sain. I got my man Daniel Greer, man, for Grizz 901. You also see him after every Grizzlies loss this year. On the Grizzlies, on the Grizzlies, the official Bluff City Media Grizzlies post-game show. You guys have a great show, man, after every game. I try to tune in as much as I can to check you guys out. It's just good stuff, man. You guys really... It's really good that fans have something, because for years we've grown up, 92.9 has the post game show. Right. People call in or whatever, but after that's gone off, and they don't do that for every game. But you guys are there for every game. You're up anyway, so go make sure y'all check that out. Because I know me, man, after a loss, I ain't gonna lie, these games ain't really sitting. They ain't really lasted with me long, man. I mean, they over. Like, to me, I'm like, all right, man, on to the next. Like, I don't feel any way about these losses at all. So, but I do come in and check out you guys' show. Make sure y'all check it out every game, man. And if you're on Twitter, if you follow Bluff City Media, it's going to be at the top of your phone, or just look for it on YouTube after every Grizzlies win or loss. Hope we get some wins soon. How do you feeling, man? 0-5 start. I think me and you are kind of leading the brigade of y'all just shut the hell up and just we'll get through this, man. Like, I think me and you are kind of leading that brigade or whatever.
So I have my issues that I get frustrated because of, and I hate going after coaches because you're already down injuries. Everybody knows that. Now it looks like our scheme, our offense, everything is off. And is that adding in Marcus Smart, losing Dylan Brooks, who was a key to this team? Is the chemistry off? What is it? And I don't think adding in a new coach, an offensive coach, has helped. Yeah. Because it's kind of changed the way that our identity is, but also we're not adjusting quick enough. That part frustrates me. That I'm an 8 out of 10. The rest of it, I think will be okay. But I do have some thoughts on maybe making it more bite-sized for people to understand. Yeah. And maybe why the Grizzlies still have a chance, even though I was watching ESPN today and Kendrick Perkins said there's 0 chance that the Grizzlies make it. And honestly, the stats show that we have a 0.9% to make the playoffs, which is so terrible.
I think all that stuff is cool. Yeah. I get all that. But all things considered, you're talking about a very unique situation with us. Where you're talking about your very best player will not be here until after 25 games.
But at least unlike the injuries.
Right. It's not like, this is who we are. We just suck. And, it's just going to be what it is. You feel like that this is going to be a total different team once you get Ja plus a healthy version of whatever this team right now is.
But at what percentage can you win once he gets back? There's going to be 57 games remaining. If you win 60% of those games, then I think you're going, is it 39-27? I'm trying to think. No, that's not right.
Don't start me the line.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, so 35-27, whatever that number is.
Well, I know that we were – last year's team without Steven Adams, the team without Steven Adams, without Brandon Clark. Well, I don't know about Brandon Clark, but the team without Steven Adams won at like a 58% clip last year.
Exactly.
So I think that is something that could possibly be repeatable.
34.
Okay.
So 34 games.
Yeah, that ain't a playoff team. You got.
So that's the thing is like you're talking about winning 34 of the 57 games when Ja gets back. Well, what are you doing to figure out a way to get to 40? 40 wins was what the 10th place won in both conferences. Right. That's called 6 out of the first 25 games you need to win. I'm not saying that's not doable. That is doable. I think we can win 6 of 25. The problem is you're then behind the 8 ball already, trying to fight your way just to get to the 10th spot. Is it worth it for that? Yeah. That's what worries me.
Yeah. I'm probably more optimistic about them being a better team before Ja gets back, being a team that's closer to 500. But I could totally see, I get your frustration on that for sure. Something I'm observing, I definitely noticed that the offense doesn't look right. It reminds me of, I can't remember what this guy's name was, but his name on Twitter was like assistant basketball coach. For real. He was one of the Grizzlies' assistants. Like, I want to say he was... he maybe was Yeager's assistant or something like that. And he came in with this new offense. And after a while, they got rid of it. They was like, no, we're not built for this. He might have been Yeager's assistant or what's the other guy, the black guy's name?
David Fisdale?
Might have been his assistant. I don't know. Yeah. But it was one of those two guys' assistant. And like he was here for like a year. And it was like, no, that's not working. Like he came from Orlando or something. Right. But his offense wasn't working. Like this kind of is the same feel. Like, I get the open 3-point shots, and you figure when Ja's here, your offense will look better, but it just doesn't look good with what we've got now because it's like I said, it's creating the coffin corner three for Xavier Tillman, and it's just not hitting right, man. You know what I mean? So, what are your thoughts on the new offensive strategy that we're looking at so far this season?
It sucks.
It's ass. Yeah, I don't like it. It's the worst. Yeah, I just don't like it at all. It's making David Roddy open the line. I'm like, man, all right, man.
Why, so there's no flow in offense. Like you need flow on both sides of the ball, which is defensive and offense. One has to create flow for the other, depending on what type of team you are. Right now, the defensive end is hurting because of the flow of the offensive end, in my opinion, because you're all standing around the perimeter. There's no movement towards the basket, which is creating, quick outs for the other team. They are energized because they're saving their energy on defense because they're literally guarding a fence on the outside of the three-point line. And then on defense, you're just struggling because you're not getting a flow of the game in general. Yeah. There has to be some motion to the bucket. I hope that changes. It changed in the second half after halftime, which I don't know why you have to wait till halftime to change that.
Right.
But it changed after halftime, and the Grizzlies look so much better.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's going to happen against whoever the DeAndre Ayton Blazers. But if it doesn't, that I would be a 10 out of 10 frustrated.
Yeah. Something else that I see that I just kind of feel bad for the guys is like it just seems like it's too much right now for Xavier Tillman. Like he started out first game, put some money in your pocket, I know for sure.
Made us feel great.
I was like, man, I might come behind my boy Daniel and give me some of that double Xavier Tillman. I would have been a broke man fooling around because he hadn't had one of those since.
Got close.
Hasn't looked good at all since that first game, really. Maybe the second game I think he was good, but yeah, he's been bad the last really bad the last few games. And I just think it's too much for him. Yeah. Not that I don't think that he. It's not that I don't think he can be a starter, but he can't do this. Where it's him and Jaren playing all of the minutes. No. They're always either one of the two is going to be on the court at all times. I think he's struggling with that. They desperately need to get some bigs. If we got Bismack Biyombo on the way, I think that's going to help out a lot. But right now, Jaren and Tillman look like they're just done. Like look like they're fried. They look toasted out there. So what are your thoughts on that?
Well, I don't think the matchups. I think they're both matchup based, and I think Jaren needs a guy who can be bigger, who can take the offense or defensive end and let him be the safety in a sense. Xavier Tillman can't do that because he's undersized already. But there's something there that doesn't make him the rebounder, right? It doesn't make him the defensive, like you can put your flagpole in and go around. Xavier Tillman, he's that dude like Steven Adams is. Bismack Biyombo can be that guy, and I think they'll mesh well. It's just how do you rotate them in properly because he's not going to play more than 15, 20 minutes a game max. So what do? Xavier Tillman's based on matchups. He was based against a guy like JV, Jonas Valanciunas, in the first game, and he looked well because he's that same type of player. Well, then you go out and you look around. Daniel Gafford, he didn't play well against him. Whoever's last night, Walker Kessler didn't play well against him. Those type, there's only certain type of guys that he can be good against, and it's not every guy. And so that's the reason he has got the contract he has. That's the reason he is a guy on the bench. He's honestly your backup to your backup of your center, but he's being thrusted in this position. I don't know what we're going to do with him, but I would love to see Bismack come in and be a starter at some point and move Xavier Tillman to the bench. That way he can come in and kind of be a different kind of a change of pace center.
I like the Jaren Tillman lineup. Like you said, I do have to admit that it does feel a little matchup based, though. I would love to see that lineup work going forward because it worked for a lot of last season. If we hadn't got blasted by the Lakers in the playoffs, we would not have been so down on Jaren and Tillman because in the regular season, like we said, they won like 58% of their games together. So it's just now, it just feels – I just think it's so much, man. Like they're using those guys so much. And I think once you get Santi back and once you get Bismack in, you can kind of – it'll be a less crazy-looking lineup. You're not playing Jake LaRavia and David Roddy at the four. You know what I mean? So maybe that can help things out once those guys get in.
But why can't they use him just like they're using Steve-O as being kind of the top of the key – screener, but also the guy who can kind of handle the basketball because you're talking about a guy in Steven Adams who doesn't blow past people to drive to the rim. He usually is dependent on getting a good pick and roll, and a lot of times it's the back pass, whoever's cutting through. Take that away. You still have Xavier Tillman who can actually go off the dribble, two hard dribbles to the front of the rim by somebody if he needs to, but also he can be a facilitator and allow back screens we can run the same offense we ran last year and look so much better now. You put Xavier Tillman at the top of the key, kind of the free throw line extended a little bit, and I think that it's a better offense, and it's exactly the same offense we had last year.
Yeah, I would like to see some of that too, except for Tillman. That dude's touch is so terrible. Like if he's moving, like if he's under the basket and he's sitting still, he can turn around and kind of get you a bucket. But if he has to move and like any type of float or anything like that dude.
I'm not asking you to do that.
That dude's touch is terrible, man. I'm like, oh my God, Tillman. But yeah, man, I feel bad for him because he's not this high usage of a big. No. He can't be like that type of guy. And I think it's killing him out there for sure. Yeah. Speaking of concern level, Luke Kennard got me worried, man. Because I'm like, dude, I don't know, man. Like, I don't know if there's like some lingering concussion stuff with him or lingering like shoulders. Bro, like, fam, you took 8 threes last night. Was he 1 for 8 last night?
I didn't even know if he hit one. Did he hit one?
What was he, Paris? Did you see? You got the he was either 1 of 7, 1 of 8, 0 for 7. He took like a shitload of threes last night and wouldn't hit none of them.
Jaren went 1 of 8. I know.
Man, bro. Like, it's Luke Kennard. The whole Luke Kennard thing is scary because if he's not like elite level shooter, he serves his team no purpose at all. You know what I mean? So that whole thing scares me altogether.
He hit 1. He won 1 for 8.
Wow.
Man, that's crazy, man. Dude's 3-point percentage is what on the season, man?
That's his first one of the season.
Ooh, man. So he 1 for 13 because he went 0 for 5.
Man, that's wild, man. Like, I know he's only played in those 2 games, but looking at preseason, now I know Bain was like, yeah, man, we were shooting competitions. And
he is shooting 7% from 3 and field goal percentage.
He's shooting 7% higher than me.
No, I need that man. It can't be, but he doesn't look like his. Because with Kyle Anderson, when he had the stuff going on with his shoulder, you can see like, oh, that dude's shoulder ain't right. Yeah, but you can see like, okay, he's got a hitch in his shot. Like he's, what the hell's wrong with Kyle Anderson? Like, or there were reports of, like, because I saw them working with Kyle, like reconstructing his jump shot, like making him go like frame by frame with his jumper. I saw that. You haven't heard any reports of anything with Luke Kennard?
No.
So I'm hoping there's nothing structurally wrong with this dude, bro. I hope it's just like he's just in a weird ass cold streak.
How much of that depends on, and I've heard this on Grizz Twitter, how much of that depends on the shooting coach that is with the Grizzlies?
Man, I don't know. That all sounds crazy to me though, bro. I'm like, if I'm an elite level shooter, I'm not listening to some schmo that's I'm like, dude, I don't need. And I don't think they would even waste time with those type of dudes. I think shooting coaches are for guys like Ja Morant, because I think they brought the guy there to kind of help Ja with his jump shot.
Right.
Brandon Clark, those type of guys. They can say, okay, well, if you add this little piece to your jump shot, maybe you can do this, or you remove this part. I don't think they're getting with Luke Kennard like, hey, I got to reconstruct your jumper. Like, hell no, man, I've been shooting since I was 8. Like, I've been a shooter all my damn life, man. I'm not screwing around with you. Because, Desmond Bain and them, those guys, they don't need that.
It's a mental thing.
I don't understand the role of a shooting coach. I think they bring those guys in to work with certain guys. I don't think they may create drills. I don't think they're working with mechanics of guys at all.
I don't think so either.
Yeah. Santi, more weird Grizzly stuff. Santi Aldama went from being day-to-day to we're about to start revving him up this week. I'm like, man, like, bro. And people say that we're being paranoid when we talk about the Grizzlies and their inconsistencies of information.
Yeah.
This is just another example of it. Yeah.
Nate is the worst about that.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. It's like, I think he's fine. I don't think you know what I mean? I don't feel like there's anything like super cause for concern. Like, I think he'll probably be back next week. But damn, man, like they're being so strange about it. Like they're not really being, they came out saying, here's the thing too, like people call me a climbing apologist. I tell people to kind of take a step back before they like all out criticize him. But one thing but when you ask a real climbing apologist or just front office apologist, they'll say, well, man, what do you want them to say, man? Like they said that. Like, bro, like they came out and said day-to-day for this dude, which means I'm probably going to see him in the next 2 or 3 games or update the next 2 or 3 games.
Yes and no.
And then, okay, you break it down for me.
So it's an ankle injury, right? He rolled it. And so a lot of times you're waiting till the swelling goes down. Make sure there's no torn ligaments. And at that point, you're day-to-day because there's nothing torn. There's nothing there's no structural damage in there. So you're like, hey, he's day-to-day. But how long? Ankles are weird, man.
Yeah.
And it could be a high ankle sprain. At that point, you could be out like 6 weeks.
So you're saying they probably haven't even truly evaluated him yet? Is that
No. I say that they have. The problem is you don't know how somebody's ankle is going to react.
Respond. Right. Okay.
Because it could be up in the ankle, which is honestly it's small and it's really just pain. And this early in the season, they're going to be overprotective. Obviously, we suck and we're being hurt already. But we can't just allow ourselves to say, "Hey, I know you're hurting. We need to go ahead and put you in there," because at that point, you're going to hurt the rest of the year.
Is there a point during the season where you say, because I heard you kind of not really going here, but this is me taking it here. Plus, I've heard a couple of people say, let's tank for whatever. At what point do you kind of pull the plug and just say, all right, let's reevaluate this? Like at what point, at what record do you say, all right, even with Ja back, and I know Ja's the type of guy, he's going to come in like, oh, we're just going to win 57 games in. Like, like you can't, he's that type of dude. So how would you manage that type of situation if it's just looking like pure shit show?
I think you have to go at least 20 games into having Ja back. You're talking about mid-year, midway. You can always tank.
Right.
Because we're already going to be behind the 8 ball that if we want to tank, we'll have a head start on most people. Just being honest, like we're already 0-5. I'm not saying that we're going to lose every game. I still think we have a chance to win 10 games in the first 25, which would mean us going 10-10 the next 20. I still think that we'll be behind the 8 ball in a lot of teams to where we can actually decide when Ja gets back, how far do we want to take this? When Ja's here, next 20 games are very important. If we go for it and we win, 70% of the games, we're all in, we're going to go. Right. But if we only win 40, we need to reevaluate.
And we know the strategy to tank if we need to. We've got Jake LaRavia, we got David Roddy. We can just, let's get some LaRavia Roddy minutes going on there. Hey, we got all the dudes. Hey, Tillman corner 3, run it, goddamn it! Like we got all the stuff we need if we want to tank, man, for sure. Speaking of that, like I hate to sound like Grizzlies Facebook or sound like Twitter Spaces or anything like that, but I'm looking at this like, okay, man, if this is how bad we're playing, and if we're rolling out Jake LaRavia and he looks this ass, if we throw out David Roddy and he looks this confused or like purposeless. And we're giving John Conchar credit just for not being as bad as those two dudes. Not scoring, not scoring a single point. You know what I mean?
That's not his job.
He's just kind of out there. And we're like, let's get some more John Conchar minutes with 2 points a game. Like just because he's not terrible. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Or
we're giving Zaire Williams credit just for not being ass. Because he ain't really had he ain't really done much. He's just kind of out there. He's not really messing up really bad. I'm like, okay. I know I'm team leave this dude in the oven. I've been the guy who's been saying keep Gigi in the oven. Like you ain't got to touch him this year. You'll be fine. I'm like, dude, he can't be any worse than what we've seen. And his ceiling could be super high. He's the type of dude, man. You're talking about a guy that was like one of the top players in the country in high school. If anything, he can score.
Right.
He might be a kid. You give him an ounce of confidence, you might have some type of hidden gem in this dude. Good. Because you look at teams across the league, man. I can't really get into names right now, but you look up and there's always like these guys who were taken low in the draft. They give him opportunity, like, oh shit, this dude can play. Right. Like, let's play him now. Like the lively kid with Derek Dallas. Lively, yep. Like it's like guys that they get random opportunities and they shine.
Yep.
Like, how do we know that that's not Gigi Jackson? Right. You're talking about a dude who's 6'9", athletic, he can score. He looks kind of lost a lot out there, but why?
It doesn't matter.
Why not though? Like can he look worse than Jake LaRavia?
Exactly.
Like, for real, man.
Especially in games like the Utah where it's a blowout.
Throw him out there.
I wish they would have got him in instead of David Roddy.
Right.
Because at that point, who David Roddy is. I would say go ahead and throw him in. If you're okay with throwing Jacob Gilliard in there, please be okay with throwing Gigi Jackson. Because Jacob Gilliard is almost the same size as my 8-year-old. And literally, they were throwing the ball over top of him with his hand stretched up high, and he's not even close to it because he's 4'12".
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, man. Like I said, I would like to see some GG minutes. He just seems like the type of guy, if there's a guy on our team that could just, catch fire or just kind of, you catch lightning in a bottle, whatever, might be him. Like, I understand the whole thing of just leave him in South Haven, let him develop. But he can't be worse than Jake LaRavia, especially on defense, man. Because Jake LaRavia's whole thing is, all right, I can't guard you. We gonna get the little foul in right quick. Like, dude's defense is terrible, man. And I made the joke the other day that he looks like a guy that won. I say he plays like a guy who won like half court shot, and his prize was get to actually get in the game in the second half. But like, man, I don't know, man. I just think there's probably something to that dude that they should be playing him.
I think it's worth a shot.
Yeah, for sure. Why not, man? I don't know, but it is looking like our boy Kendall Lofton is. Yeah, R.I.P. for that, man, for sure. Because you know that. I think I'm Team Bismack. I think you are too. There's no way that he ain't surviving this.
Not if we're going. So I think what's important is these next 20 games. Do we say, hey, we played so bad that we're going to go ahead and keep Junior on here because Bismack didn't help us, right? We already have this guy. It's cheaper to cut Bismack than it is cheaper to cut Kenny.
At this point, yeah.
So at this point, we're not going to use him. So let's go ahead and keep Kenny under contract. And then the next 20 games, if Josh shines and we raise up to where we can be a good team, then maybe we look at the trade deadline of making some trades. A Bismack Biyombo is going to be on the couch somewhere in the league.
Yeah.
Somebody, we can get that guy again, if not Bismack Biyombo again.
Right.
So that's the thing is
y'all need me? Booty call number 2, part 2.0.
Does he charge more the second time, or he's like, I'll take this guy?
Y'all want to play with me, man. It's going to take 10. But nah.
I think I don't know. I just think that they're going to make a decision depending on what our record is.
Yeah. I can't see Biyombo not contributing though. I mean, we kind of know what he does, man. You know what I mean? So I don't think that's a thing at all. I've been the guy who everyone has been throwing these Zaire Williams receipts at me, saying you said this, you said that, and I wasn't lying. Stuff I said was real. He was ass last year.
He was.
And I had a problem with him not playing in the summer league. I still had a problem with him not playing in the summer league because it's moments like now when we're kind of short of talent. He could be like, oh shit, in the summer league, I went off in the summer league playing a bunch with guys at my level. Like now he's like, that's the main thing with me that really bothers me about Zaire is that, dude, you're 6'9", you're athletic. You're not the best ball handler, but you kind of find ways to get open for shots, create space, all those type of things. Like, why aren't you more assertive? Like, why isn't a light switch going off with you?
He's just not that guy, though.
But it's like, that bothers me about him. I need him to be more than the guy that is like 9-10 points a game. If he could be a guy who, there's certain lineups where he's out there like, bro, if you just were a little bit more assertive, it would kind of force the issue with everybody. You know what I mean? So, but that's what I meant to ask you though. What do you think his ceiling is as a player on this team?
Yeah, so I think he's 3-and-D. I think he's gonna knock down 2 or 3 threes a game, and then some games he's gonna knock down 4. Some days he's gonna knock down 2. I think you're going to have that fluctuation of the 8 to 14 points. But really all you're looking to do is when you get Ja back. I'm not like what we have now, we just got to figure out some people have to score more than they normally would. You're talking about, 10-ish, 14-ish out of him, then should be 20 out of Jaren, 20 out of Bane, 25 or so out of Ja. And then you're talking about Marcus Smart, another 10 to 15. Like at that point, that should be your core of points, and then after that, you're sprinkling around a little bit from here and there.
Yeah,
you're above 100 with all that, and you should be 120. So that's where I think you need to get to. The problem is he's being thrust into doing more than he should. Then that's every year with all these players.
Yeah. Well, the Grizzlies have Portland coming up next. By the time you watch this, it's tomorrow, right? Friday. They play Portland, right?
It's tonight.
Huh?
We're recording on Thursday, yeah.
Right, so Friday, right?
Right.
Yeah. So, yeah, we'll talk about that in the next segment, the three-pointer.
I have something I want to talk about.
Oh, that's right, you did have that. Yeah, you got something.
I brought a prop.
Man, he always got something every time you come on.
I brought a prop. So everybody in Grizz Twitter.
Is it Isaiah Hartenstein underneath that?
I'm going to put my smart people glasses on.
Got the specs.
Got the specs on. All right, all right, everybody knows that we're all looking for answers here in Grizz Twitter, Grizz Nation. We're looking to see who is the problem within the way the Grizzlies suck right now. Do you know the show Scooby-Doo?
Right. Grew up on it.
They're always looking for who the monster is or who's under the mask.
Scooby-Doo, for some reason, is the most popular Halloween costume. Daphne and Velma and all that. Why? I have no idea.
And so I'm here to help everybody find out who is under the mask. Who's the problem? And so today I brought my monster, and we're going to find out who is the problem for the Grizzlies. So we're going to take the mask off, and I'm going to present to you Patrick St. Andrews.
Yeah, man.
The island himself. The guy, our offensive guru.
It ain't doing it. It ain't guruing, man.
What is this? What is this offense that we're
It
running?
ain't it.
It sucks.
That's what that dude looked like?
That's him.
How old is he?
I don't know. How's he look?
Man, I thought that was like one of our bloggers on Bluff City Media.
I thought he was a Memphis Hustle player.
I ain't know what that dude. I thought that was
That's him.
Had no clue, but yeah, that's him, man. If it wasn't for those garbage ass 2022 picks, he would have got away with it, man.
Well, Rutrow. I have. Sometimes that Mystery Incorporated team, you find out that the person who you thought was the issue the whole time isn't actually the guy.
Who is it then?
There's somebody else under the mask. And who is it? It's Mark Ivoroni. Mark Ivoroni is Patrick St. Andrews.
2008.
Einhorn is Finkel. Finkel is Einhorn.
Oh, man.
This Mike Ivoroni is Patrick St. Andrews.
With a mask up.
It's him.
I see it, man.
It's him.
Shout out to you, man, for I see it for sure. It does seem like Mark man, see, he's Mark Ivoroni with a mask on. Yeah, and see, you got a Grizz conspiracist and myself, you have a Grizz mystery solver. And my man Daniel Greer, man. We're about to take a break. I gotta do the 3-pointer. You will stay on with me, man?
I'll be here.
I got some white people stuff I need you to hop on with, stuff I don't really care nothing about. But you here, man. So.
I'll be here.
Yeah, you got it.
White people.
All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, it's a 3-pointer here on the Anthony Sain Show.
We've seen this happen where they have these second half, fourth quarter late collapses, and it just looked all too damn familiar.
Yeah. No, I mean, I couldn't agree.
Did they pull through? Sure.
Yes.
But, it doesn't leave you feeling all warm and fuzzy and good inside.
No, I mean, the biggest thing that it's like a breath of, not fresh air, but just a relief, I guess, is that they didn't lose.
They didn't
this
crumble.
Game. No, they crumbled. They just didn't lose.
They answered at the very end when they needed to. Seth Hennigan, shout out to Seth. That was one thing throughout his career. Name a fourth quarter game-winning drive, comeback drive that he has been able to convert at this point. Or a game-tying drive. Mm-hmm. That's like the first one. Like that's a big check mark, big monkey off the back to be able to execute in a time of need for your team.
Yeah.
Tune in to On the Bluff with Christian Fowler and Gabe Kuhn every Tuesday at 12 p.m. on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel. Did Trent Dilfer break bro code?
You talking about with the
yes.
QB?
Yes, he did.
Sitch?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. It's hard for me to say because we're not there. They said he just didn't pass protocol that day. So at what point did he take the concussion protocol test? I have no idea. But I will tell you that Ryan was not happy in the radio post game about it at all.
Well, I think they're supposed to give you a list. And maybe they did, saying that, hey, he's questionable. He may not make it. I heard nothing over Zeno not playing.
Oh, no. It wasn't until McMurphy tweeted it at, I don't know,
like literally as they were kicking
10:30 that he wasn't playing. I had no clue either. But yeah, Ryan was not happy. He said something to the effect of like, I will always remain to be open and let people know what's going on injury-wise and who is playing, who's not.
Sure.
They throw a quarterback out there with full pads and a helmet on, warming up, and then don't play him. That was obviously very annoying.
Tune in to Tigers Untapped with TJ Willis and Trey Lasley every Wednesday at 3 p.m. on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel. Bluff City Media and Bluff City NIL are proud partners of Coaching for Literacy, a Memphis nonprofit using the power of sports to impact childhood literacy. When you donate to Bluff City NIL through Coaching for Literacy, your gift is 100% tax deductible. This partnership is a win-win-win. Tiger student athletes win in the NIL landscape. Coaching for Literacy wins by engaging Tiger student athletes in this monumental cause. And most importantly, elementary students in Memphis receive support to become strong readers. To donate today, visit coachingforliteracy.org/bluff-city.
All right, y'all, welcome back to the three-pointer. My guy Daniel Greer said he's going to hang out with me a little bit longer, man. We're going to chop it up. 3 things going on in the world of sports. Number 1, what's dominated my timeline today has been the NBA city uniforms officially released. We heard all the hubbub, all the stuff about them, all the fake pictures came out, the grainy pictures, the leaked Ja Morant Media Day pictures came out, all that stuff. The officials came out today for the NBA. And I would say most of them are ass. Just want to be honest with you. This is not a good year for the city jerseys. No. That's one of those things where, man, it's like you can only go to their well so many times before you start repeating. There are certain teams, in my opinion, that just like don't need to make city, like the Chicago Bulls, Lakers, Boston. Stop making city. Y'all the classic NBA teams. Right. Stop. Just don't make them. Just say we decline. We good. People gonna buy jerseys anyway.
No matter what.
No, it's the same shit over and over again. They're not gonna go many variations of it.
Yep.
Do any of them stand out to you at all?
There's a lot of bad. Let's talk about the Grizzlies first.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So I do like the whatever the alternate logo, the MEM. I'm okay with that. It does look like a QR code.
Yeah.
It would be cool if we somehow would have made it into a QR code where you scan it and you see some highlights, some different Grizzly highlights every night. Okay, that'd be cool.
Right.
But I just think that all they did was put on the logo and didn't give us any of the details.
Yeah.
We always have details in the Grizzlies uniforms. We don't have any of those details, and that's what really is irritating.
And what they said about it was lazy as hell. I'm trying to pull it up so I can read what they said, which is all sounds like a bunch of dumbness.
And when they put out the picture today, it was John Conchar number 46. So maybe they're trying to get jitty with it.
What is the 46 about? Because everybody's got 46 on there.
Oh, really?
Every team's thing is 46.
Oh, well, I don't know.
I don't understand what
it's
for.
The season? What year it is?
No. Everyone's is 46 though.
Parrish, investigate.
Yep, I got you.
Yeah, look into that, man.
But no, so some of those like Chicago's looks horrible.
Yeah,
like you tried, and you did a really bad job of trying.
It's like it looks like we've seen that jersey 20 times from them. Like,
but why? Like, why do you need that? Like, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it says it's supposed to be like it says it's supposed to be the Wrigley Field sign thing or something. I don't know, man. It's goofy to me. I like the Clippers joint. The Hawks joint is clean to me. I like Houston's. I don't know. Golden State Warriors joint, like I said, looks like a vape pen. Detroit's is okay. Denver, I don't know what y'all are doing. Minnesota joint hard though.
So I like theirs, but it looked like a license plate.
Let me see. Yeah, it does. The Pelicans, man. Shout out to the Pelicans though, because they typically have everything looks like a Zataran's box. They got out of that stuff and just they still got the Mardi Gras font, but it's like that. It's like either a black or a dark blue jersey.
It's black.
It's black with like the like neon green.
Did you see what they did? So they showed the details today, which I hadn't seen. Is the actual logo is made into like a skeleton, and so they're calling it the Skeletons.
I see that.
Somebody did that, but I didn't know that. And it looks like their normal Pelican, the logo, but they made it into a skeleton, like the actual bones.
Yeah. I like that,
cool.
bro.
That's cool.
Yeah, man. Like, yeah, but ours is all right. I ain't gonna say it's trash. Oh, Milwaukee Bucks. That shit is ass.
See, I was okay with it. The blue.
Have you seen the actual jersey on the body though?
Nah.
Go on Nike.com. It's gross. I saw that today. But yeah, man, the city uniforms are for, of course, the mid-season tournament, in-season tournament that starts tomorrow. The Grizzlies get the Portland Trailblazers. I'm gonna tell you my I guess it's probably more so a wish than a theory. I got a feeling, man, that our games that we get in this in-season tournament, that we're gonna like have a good record in our actual in-season tournament games, and we're gonna use this in-season tournament to springboard the rest of the season, man.
I hope you're right.
I can see it though.
I don't think you are.
We're going to start off with Portland because we got like Portland. Who's in our bracket? Portland, L.A.
Utah, Phoenix.
But that game wasn't – no, that wasn't one.
No, that wasn't one.
I'm telling you, bro.
No, yeah, that one. Next Friday when Utah comes to Memphis, there'll be one.
I'm telling you, bro. We're going to be 2-0. We're going to win. We're going to win tomorrow night. We're going to get our revenge game against Utah. We're going to get your boy St. Andrew. Get your St. Lucas, whatever. Get your ass.
It's Mark Alvarone, remember that.
Yeah, Mark Alvarone Jr., get your ass up out of here. I'm telling you, man, this in-season tournament is going to turn the season around.
I hope.
This shit ain't going to happen.
We have sucked so bad.
We the worst team in the league,
Give
bro.
me anything.
Yeah, we the worst team in the league.
You know, when you say we suck, I think about Rob Snyder. Oh no, we suck again.
We suck again.
Yeah, man, it's gonna be tough. But in season tournament, I see people kind of getting like super upset about it. Like I don't have any bad thing to say about it. It's basketball, bro.
It makes it interesting.
Yeah,
I'm okay with that.
Possibly it could get more eyes on the product. Possibly if not, I like that the uniforms match the courts. I think that's dope. So we'll see, man. I think they should kind of jazz it up a little bit. Like maybe have more guys mic'd up or.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Have some type of element to it that's more like, I don't know, rock and jockish or you know what they should do for real though? They can't do this for a regular NBA game. But like those games are like the tournament part of it.
Yeah.
Like throw some wild rules out there just to see what it look like. Like
what about they should do the clock, whatever that ending Elam ending.
Elam ending stuff.
That
like
would
do
be
that.
fun. Like
do no foul outs. Jaren to be MVP of the league. It wasn't no foul outs. Jaren would be freaking. I don't know who Jaren would be. Be Kevin Garnett out there if he couldn't foul out. But for real though, maybe they should do that.
I think that'd be fun.
Yeah, why not? Just
but you can't change it too much because it is still a regular season game.
Can we? I mean, not those games, but the actual cup, the cup championship.
Gotcha. Okay.
Those don't count for nothing.
The
semifinals and the championship don't count for anything. Those aren't regular season
like
games.
a play-in game.
Those are extra games. They don't count towards.
But they count towards your record
No,
because
they
the Grizzlies.
They don't.
Those don't. The games prior to those do.
But the actual tournament don't.
Yeah, but so when they go to the Final Four or whatever it is, the Grizzlies pick up another game or two on their schedule.
I don't think it counts towards your record.
I think that week of you get an extra. I think everybody gets an extra game that week.
For real?
Yeah.
But I'm saying that don't count towards
the extra game counts, I believe.
But isn't there like a bracket part of it that don't count towards?
Yeah, the bracket doesn't count. So when you get to the quarter for later in Vegas, when they do the semifinals championship, that don't count.
Yeah, make those weird, man. 4-point shots. Elam ending. Yeah, whatever, man.
Yeah, but when you go and look at the schedule, like you count all the games until when we play the Pelicans, when we actually play them, they don't add up to 25. Like there's no 25 games prior to the Pelicans. So there's games that are going to be added in once the pool play is done.
Man, I don't know.
I don't know how it works, but
yeah,
I don't know.
It's confusing.
I don't know at all, man. All right, number 2, we're going to move on to white people stuff. Got my boy Daniel Greer started singing, man. Some white shit happened today, boy. I said, we can see a Greer hang out with me. It's a white shit happened today. World Series champs, your Texas Rangers. Speak on it. I know you're a baseball guy. Speak on it.
Yeah, so...
talk to the people, man. Look to the camera, man. Give us what they need, man.
Baseball. I love it. Great game. The America's pastime.
I used to be a baseball fan when I was a little kid. Oakland A's.
This season, they suck. Well, actually, they weren't bad this year. This season was one of the best seasons in
Ricky
baseball.
Henderson still play for them?
Who?
Ricky Henderson.
Yeah, he's still stealing bases.
Man, probably could barely walk.
No, he's not playing. So baseball was the best season it's had since I can remember, the last 10 years.
What made it the best?
They changed some rules to the pitch clock, which made so baseball games were now 2.5 hours compared to 3 hours plus.
Oh wow, okay.
And so when you get to extra innings, you have the guy that that goes on second base already, and so it creates shorter games.
For real?
Yeah. So
you get a designated runner on second base.
So the last out. So let's say you go 9 innings and you're tied. The 10th inning, the last out, whoever it was, goes out to second to start the inning.
Okay.
So you have no outs. You have a man on second. So that obviously puts you into.
Damn. When they started this year? Did you?
Last year.
Damn.
And so it made it more interesting, and also it limited those 16, 17, 18 inning games because you don't have those anymore because there's actually people on base. And so there's a reason they got to be a tie game, probably because they both suck at hitting. And you don't want to go into 18 innings of sucking at hitting.
Right.
So that made it fun. The 2.5 hour game, that's a basketball game.
Yeah.
Like it's okay. It's doable. It's bite sized. There's a lot of young guys, a lot of people from different, like Puerto Rican, like Dominican, that are actually allowed to show a little bit of their flavor because that's what they have. Baseball was the best year. This World Series didn't get a good number. I don't care about that. The fans were in attendance. It was a good year for fans. It was a good year. I think a lot of young kids are going to pick up on baseball going forward because they're going to allow them to be themselves.
So you cool? Were the Rangers really the best team in baseball? They were good all season?
Braves were the best team in baseball.
For real?
But that's how it happens in baseball.
Yeah.
Pitching can dominate easily, and they got dominated. The Braves got dominated, but also like the Phillies were good, Dodgers were good. There's some things you have to correct, but in general, the Rangers were a top 10 team throughout the year.
Damn, okay. So shout out to the Texas Rangers. You're 2023 champions?
Yep.
Those we caught?
That's what this year.
Yeah.
That's this year.
So baseball is only in one calendar year, right?
Yep.
That's what's up, man. Shout out to the Texas Rangers for sure. Number 3, and actually number 2 on the white people stuff is hold on. What is it?
Bob Knight.
Bobby Knight died.
Rest in peace.
Did he know?
Y'all forgive me. If anybody in Bobby Knight's family is watching, I'm not laughing at him dying. I'm laughing at I had to ask my white friend to hang out and talk stuff I don't know about. Bobby Knight, I have 2 memories of him. Talking crazy to people and throwing chairs. And I heard people mentioning something about he didn't think Michael Jordan should be on the Olympic team when he was in college because he couldn't shoot. Imagine that now, man. Like, imagine the type of dudes that come out of college now who are just rough around the edges and somebody saying, I don't want that kid on my team.
But times have changed.
Yeah.
Listen, I like Bobby Knight.
What am I doing, Zion Williamson?
Yeah. I think Bobby Knight was a no-nonsense coach.
Yeah.
And I love that. Mm-hmm. Like any coach that ever coached me, I love that part of like the no-nonsense BS. Mm-hmm. I just like you said, the memory of him throwing the chair across. Mm-hmm. Like he was the temper tantrum.
Yeah, there you
go. He was the king of that, and that was so much fun to watch that.
Imagine him getting dropped in a time warp and like being the coach he was then. Like he wakes up and it's 2023.
Dude, that would be amazing. He would be canceled so quick. All the moms, all the Karens would be out there canceling him.
I got a joke, but I can't say it. I'm gonna say it out the air. What he probably thought NIL stood for, but I'll tell you that on the break.
No, Bobby Knight was one of the best, man. He, I didn't know he was even sick.
Right.
So who knows?
Man. I hate to make jokes. If people think I'm laughing at him dying, I'm not doing it at all. But this is all just ridiculous. We gotta get to the break so I can tell you this joke. We about to go to the break, man. When we come back, what are we doing? Inside the Same Brain, we're going to talk about chili. It's cold outside, man. Everybody, you're cooking chili. We're going to talk about that. How you supposed to eat your chili. There's been a debate on Facebook about that. We'll talk about that when we come back here on Anthony Sain Show.
Bluff City Media and Bluff City NIL are proud partners of Coaching for Literacy, a Memphis nonprofit using the power of sports to impact childhood literacy. When you donate to Bluff City NIL through Coaching for Literacy, your gift is 100% tax deductible. This partnership is a win-win-win. Tiger student athletes win in the NIL landscape, Coaching for Literacy wins by engaging Tiger student athletes in this monumental cause, and most importantly, elementary students in Memphis receive support to become strong readers. To donate today, visit coachingforliteracy.org/bluff-city.
You see a lot of people who go after Ryan and say, oh my gosh, same old story, letting a bad team back in the game, almost losing or losing most of the time. They actually won this one. As a football guy, as a dude who just watched the players, who watched that game with my eyeballs, I saw a collective letting go of the rope. Now, I guess if you're going to go after Ryan, you'd say, we've seen this before. This continues to happen. He didn't have his guys ready to go. I thought they were in positions to go make plays. They just didn't make the plays they were supposed to. And that's frustrating to me when you see a comeback like that. It just almost becomes confirmation bias for a lot of the fan base. It's like, look at this. Look, this shit's happening again.
Yeah.
Right. It's like confirmation bias. But if you really watch that game, it was a collective letting go of the rope by a lot of the players actually playing on the field. And it was very strange to me.
Tune in to On the Bluff with Christian Fowler and Gabe Kuhn every Tuesday at 12 p.m. on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
TJ, was this a wake-up call?
I'm nervous by that question. I'm not going to lie. We prepared for this.
What are you doing?
We also need a little wake-up call, don't you think?
Oh, great heavens. What does that say?
These are smelling salts. This is called bottled insanity. Oh, it still sucks. Still sucks.
You're very familiar with the fart spray. First time I ordered that and it got to the house, I unscrewed the cap and sniffed it alone in my kitchen, and I woke up about 15 minutes later and I didn't know what happened. Energy, focus, and strength.
Absolutely. I'm gonna go to a little clinic after this.
I can't do it.
Just do it. You need a wake up call. I think this was a wake up call. Do you shake it up? How are you doing that?
That's not. Nothing's happening.
Can you breathe?
I mean, I don't understand. Tune in to Tigers Untapped with TJ Willis and Trey Lasley every Wednesday at 3 p.m. on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
All right, y'all, welcome back to the Next Sain Show. Final segment of the show. As promised, I told y'all we're going to be talking about some chili and shit. It's cold outside. Paris Sharkey, I can only speak for black households. I know we can't wait till this kind of weather comes out so we can start getting that chili going.
I already had some before. It wasn't even got cold.
Man, I promise you, it does not have to be cold for me to give me a fat little bowl of chili for real. Let me ask you a question, though, man. Are you like chili with beans or chili without beans?
It doesn't matter, both.
I don't mind the beans. I kind of gotta have the beans, man. I'm a bean. I gotta have the kidney beans and all.
Put it that way. If just chili itself, yeah, with the beans. If I'm eating like on chili cheese, hot dog without the beans.
Yeah, take the beans out. But I'm just eating a bowl of chili though.
Yeah, bowl of chili. Yeah, give me the beans.
And I'm gonna tell you something too, man. Coming up as a kid and even a teenager, the whole dollop of sour cream on top thing, that's relatively new to me. But that shit fine. Like I fool with it. I fool with it.
Yeah.
With the sour cream on top, with the green onions, the cheese, whatever. All that's relatively new to me, but I fool with it.
Scallions.
The scallions, whatever. Yeah, I can get with that, bro. Either you want to throw a little bacon on top, man. I don't care what you want to do. I can fool with that too, bro. But what I don't know nothing about is a trend that people are talking a little bit too much for me, man. I don't know if y'all have seen me talk about this before, but I am not a fan of cornbread at all, Paris Sharkey. I'm not a fan of cornbread. And people are talking about the combination of chili with cornbread. I don't know what it is about cornbread. My mom may not have made the best cornbread. That might be all it is. It might be I just grew up on bad cornbread. I'm not. My mother was a saint. I love, God bless her soul. But she might not have made the best cornbread. So my what I call cornbread in my head is not a pleasurable thought. It's not something I remember as being good. I don't like it. I don't like the consistency of it. I don't like something that crumbles. Like I'm not a fan of Chick-fil-A biscuits sometimes because they can get crumbly. So I don't like that at all.
And to that point, some people like their cornbread like mixed with their greens and stuff like that. I don't like my bread wet.
No.
My bread need to be.
I think that shit is
separate.
nasty as hell. Right. Like I think that's disgusting, bro. When people mix greens and cornbread, that shit look ass to me. But like the whole chili and cornbread thing, I don't get it. It's not my thing. I can't see it being my thing. I don't know where it came from. Because here's my thing, man. If I had a nice, well-prepared bowl of chili with, like I said, with the sour cream, with the scallions on it, the cheese on top, cheddar cheese on top, beefy chili with, nice little beans in it, nice little spice to it, nice little tomato. I like the little, tomato hit. I like all that, bro. If I got that and you give me a piece of cornbread to it, there's some type of cornbread that I will eat. I can't really describe what that is, but like I'll try it. Okay, yes, this is fine. I'll eat this.
Yeah.
But I'm not. If cornbread is an option, I don't want it. I'd rather just give me a piece of bread. Give me a roll.
Yeah, like me, I like cornbread, but if choosing between the cornbread and roll, I like rolls better.
But this is the point I'm trying to make. If that might be good, you might sit me down in front of a bowl of perfectly made chili. Give me some cornbread. Somebody say you got to get like honey butter cornbread or whatever. I could see that being okay. I've even seen people say cinnamon rolls with chili is good. I say, hey, that's kind of got me thinking. They say they do them uniced cinnamon rolls with chili is really good. I was like, I could even do it iced and make it happen.
Right.
But that's a new concept to me. But I can make that happen. But if grilled cheese is an option, I'm not picking nothing.
Checking it every single time.
I'm not picking nothing but the grilled cheese, man. Like, and I don't understand. Like, I had people say they rather have it with cornbread than grilled cheese. I'm like, no, man. There was a girl on my Facebook. I think she kind of does like some type of cooking thing or something, maybe cooking Instagram or something. But like, she's now I'm pro thirst traps on social media. I'm down for all of them.
Right.
I get mad when I go on Instagram and I see somebody and then like Instagram resets and now it's gone. Like I hate that. I hate to do the same thing on Facebook. I'll scroll back down and try to find it. You know what I mean? But this girl put a real thirst trap on her page, man. She put a bowl of chili, and she had a grilled cheese sandwich. Looked like it was the sharp cheddar cheese in there too.
Yeah.
She had that junk. Cause I own food, not that American ghetto. No, not the no Velveeta. It got to be the sharp cheddar cheese, right? And she had like it cut in half, and she stuck that little corner in the chili. I said, yeah, bro.
Yes,
like I got quite aroused. Paris Shark. Just be honest.
That's it right there.
I was like, that's the kind of thirst trap I need right there. I had to cross my leg and recross it just then, Paris Shark. It looked so good. Shout out to that lady on Facebook. But that's kind of where I'm at, man. Like, there's no way in the world I would choose chili and cornbread. Why?
I had never heard of it before, just now.
Yeah. And I asked Daniel Greer, he said this is how he did it. He said we used to eat grilled cheese and tomato soup. I was like, man, no.
Which I did that too, growing up.
Yeah, but that grilled cheese and that chili though?
Yeah, it hit different.
Man, I'm trying to tell you. I might go give me one right now. Just be real with you.
You ain't lying.
I'm seriously thinking about it. Who got some bomb-ass restaurant chili in this joint, man, for sure. But yeah, man, I'm going to tell you what's nasty though.
What?
I might say this for next. I'm going to say this for next week. Something else, another debate.
Okay.
Whether you do sugar or salt with something. We'll talk about that.
It'll be interesting.
Freaking gross. Y'all are nasty. We'll talk about that next week, man, for sure. But for Paris Shark behind the glass, from my man Daniel Greer, who jumped in with me today. Shout out to you, man. Thank you for jumping on. Check him out, Grizz 901, as well as the Grizzlies post-game show. We got to get a man a win to talk about, man. We got to get a man a win to talk about for sure. Yeah, but thank y'all for checking it out, man. And we out.
Thank you for listening to the Anthony Sain Show. If you enjoyed this episode, leave a rating and a review wherever you download your podcasts. Also, like and subscribe to Bluff City Media's YouTube page. For comprehensive coverage of Memphis sports, head over to www.bluffcitymedia.co and find out how you can become an insider. We will see you back here next week.